We have some much needed great news from Rivian to report today, which I'm very excited about because, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the product and the brand and the company they're trying to build as a whole, but I've mostly just been concerned about the company's future, if they're going to be able to obtain profitability, are they going to ramp up production, and it appears that they are prioritizing just that, because as of Q1, they have now reported they produced a little over 2,550 vehicles within a 3-month block, and they also mentioned that there was a factory shutdown in January to try to streamline production for a few days. So that number, of course, is only going to get higher, hopefully, as the year goes on. But it seems that that factory shutdown did prove to be fairly helpful because Rivian claims they're now producing twice as many vehicles at a faster run rate than they were last quarter, which is good. That's absolutely what they need right now, because as amazing as the product is itself, and I'm glad Sandy Munro has decided that this could very well be his last vehicle he ever purchased, and he loves the off-road capability, the suspension, and the powertrain, and the battery pack. So much of this vehicle was done right that I did not want it to succumb to either bankruptcy or being bought out by Amazon, because I think they should get some street cred for delivering the first electric pickup trucks while simultaneously continuing to ramp up production of their vehicle, which is just so unique and so different from everything else on the market. But now seeing some very drastic increase in production capacity means that Rivian is feeling fairly confident that they can hit their original targets of 25,000 vehicles delivered by the end of this year. Right now, I'm paying more attention to their production numbers. They said they had just delivered a little over 1,200 vehicles at the end of the quarter, which is quite a gap between production numbers and deliveries, but that's to be expected when a company is young and just starting out like this. But we know for a fact, because of the huge amount of demand backlog there is for Rivians today, every single one of those models they build will sell, and I don't know exactly what their average selling price is, but if we assume it's say around $80,000 and they're able to rake in 80 grand for every one of these vehicles they sell, and they just produced a little over 2,500 within a 3-month block, that's a little bit over $200 million in revenue. Granted, it's probably not too profitable yet because of how much time and money goes into building each one of these vehicles, but still, if they're able to continue ramping up like this and increasing their output, then the likelihood of them achieving profitability has now increased. You know, it's not a guarantee, especially if you consider the more vehicles you deliver and the more customers you serve, the more a lot of your business's operating expenses go up. So they have still not made much motion on the Rivian Adventure Network and building out their own chargers. That's going to take some time and money, as does servicing all of these vehicles, which, you know, once you go through more of a quick, rapid ramp up, that typically results in worse quality control. Some of the vehicles might need more service than they originally thought, and expanding your service team could, of course, increase the cost of operations. So I'm not trying to say crisis averted, problem solved, the company is absolutely going to succeed long term, everyone buy the stock now. No, I still think that there's a lot of untested waters and there's a lot we still have to wait for, but I want to give credit where credit is due and try to side on the optimistic part of things when possible, and finding out that they're doubling their production capacity within a couple quarters is wonderful, and that they expect to achieve their delivery guidance for this year, even though it's not quite as good as they originally thought it was going to be. Originally, they were hoping for around 50,000 units in 2022. Now they're going with 25. But still, the good news is Rivian has a ton of cash in the bank, over $15 billion they're sitting on, so they can afford to burn through a lot of cash every quarter. I mean, last quarter, they reported a $2.4 billion loss, which is not good, but now that they're delivering thousands of vehicles per quarter, and that should continue to grow throughout the year, pretty sure we're going to see that exponential revenue coming in as well, and that should help offset some of the losses. And again, Rivian can afford to burn through cash for several years at their current burn rate. So very excited for the next earnings call to hear about how things are going on the financial side, but at the end of the day, I'm just grateful that there is like over 1,200 new Rivian owners on the road now, and this company went from a startup with a prototype and is now actually servicing, you know, hundreds and thousands of people. I'll be honest, I can't stop watching enough videos on the Rivian. I've been watching Out of Spec Motoring, I've been watching Sandy Munro, I've been watching Rivian Stories, another great channel detailing Rivian news and updates, so check out all of those guys if you want more content on Rivian, because they're really good at covering it. And of course, thank you to everyone supporting this channel over on Patreon. It seriously helps out a ton, as does just watching these videos. So take care all, and have a great day.